Excellent.
I think about Christopher Lee.
I thought you were thinking about the guy from the Laurel and Hardy movies.
That was funny.
Hi there, my name is
No.
Tom Russell, and welcome to the latest edition of our podcast, Access All Areas, the Tom Russell tapes. We've been doing this for a while now. It's just, if you're joining us for the first time, to give you an idea what it's all about. I've been working in the radio for 40 odd years in Scotland, specialising in rock music, playing rock tunes, and been fortunate enough to interview most of the major rock stars over the past 40 years. Getting to the stage where there's more years behind me than there is in front of me, so I started thinking, it's a good idea to some of these old tapes that are up in the loft, get them out and get them out there where people can perhaps have a listen to them again, or indeed hear them for the first time. There's tapes from the 80s, the 90s, the noughties, and some up to date as well. Wasn't sure technically how to do it, so luckily I got together with two good friends, rock super fans, Scott and Andy from GlasgowApollo.com. They run the GlasgowApollo.com website, where it's well worth checking out. There's tons and tons and tons of stuff, all dedicated to the late lamented Glasgow Apollo, which was a venue obviously in Glasgow. Now, today's podcast, we've done a lot of the bigger bands, as in the Rush and Deep Purple and Guns N' Roses and Whitesnake and Van Halen, etc. But for today, it's perhaps one of the, they're not unknown, but they're not at the level of your Van Halens and your Rushes and your AC/DCs. However, they were good fun to talk to. I've interviewed them maybe 6 times over the years. The very first time was a venue called King Tut's in Glasgow, where I think I mentioned it in a previous podcast. They actually, during their set, they set the fire alarm off accidentally. So everybody piled outside when the fire engines came. And after the fire brigade cleared everything and said it's okay, the guys said, let's go back in and finish the set. So everybody piled back into the small venue, King Tut's, and they did the last 2 or 3 songs, which was brilliant. But we've actually got 2 interviews today that I recorded with them. The first one was 2010. King Tut's was 2008. And this first interview we're going to listen to was from 2010. Just about the time when they were touring with the No Guts, No Glory album, their second album. And on this particular tour, they played a show both in Edinburgh and in Glasgow. Record company phoned me and said, would you like to do an interview? And I said, well, why don't they come in live after they played the Edinburgh show, come in the next morning or next afternoon, which they did. They came in live. And this first interview we're going to listen to is the live recording of the interview. A little bit later in the podcast, we'll have a listen to an interview I recorded with them at Tea in the Park when they played there. But firstly, welcome Scott and welcome Andy to the podcast.
Hello. Hi everyone. Hello. How you doing, boys?
Good day. G'day.
Oh, that's appropriate.
Of course,
There you go.
Airbourne being Australian, you'll follow every word.
Every word they said, and I smiled quite broadly when they used the Australian vernacular. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I can't remember which interview. It's not one of the ones that we're playing today, but an interview I did with them early on, perhaps the very first one at King Tut's. I remember saying to them, how annoyed do you get when people compare you to AC/DC and say you're just copying AC/DC? And Joel looked at me quite puzzled, to be frank, and he said, well, but every band in Australia sounds like AC/DC. We're just another rock and roll band from Australia.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a lovely answer.
Very good. I did a few. We'll come to it after we've played it, but there's a few moments like that. But I remember seeing them, Tom. And to be honest, I can't remember where I saw them. I think they were supporting somebody, and they were absolutely fabulous. I'd never heard of them the first time I saw them. Didn't even know who they were. And they came on, and of course, the first thing is right away. Oh, AC/DC. But the effort they put into their gigs and the passion they've got for rock and roll is just amazing. And I love it. I think they're great. Absolutely fantastic. I think it's really interesting that they don't get the abuse that a lot of Greta Van Fleet get a lot of abuse, because certainly the first album's just a Led Zeppelin copy album. But this lot haven't had much abuse because folk just love them because of the smiles on their faces and the passion they put into it. So it's really interesting. A brilliant band. Great band.
Well, I'd say that's because they're, I mean, Greta Van Fleet, a wee bit, I'm not being derogatory, but it's kind of, they're a wee bit stuck up, whereas, you know,
these boys are not stuck up.
We're Airbourne are certainly not stuck up.
No.
They're good.
Yeah.
You know, sound like normal guys who like playing guitar, playing loud rock and roll. That's it.
Absolutely.
And they've got a blueprint.
Use it.
And they're going, that one is ours. We'll use that one too.
Yeah.
So they also, like I said to you guys before, they do sound like the Angels, who are an Australian band, and they do have obviously like Rose Tattoo as well. Same sort of vintage pedigree as AC/DC.
Perfect example of that you'll hear in this first bit of the interview we're going to listen to, where I mention, I think it's in this first one, certainly one of the two. That I mentioned that at the Download Festival, which they had played on numerous occasions, but the first time they played Download, again I did an interview with them, and during the interview, after the interview finished, Joel actually asked me if he could borrow £10 because he had heard that they were selling Metallica T-shirts or hoodies for £10, but he didn't have any cash on him. So I gave him a loan of the £10, which I never had returned, to be honest. I must speak to him about that.
I noticed he didn't say, "Oh yeah, here's that tenner." Or
he didn't. I know.
He quietly forgot about that.
Yeah, he just went, "Oh yeah, that's right." Yeah. Sure.
But he borrowed the tenner, and after they had played, we did the interview. Borrowed the tenner. I went out into the field and stood in the queue and bought himself a Metallica hoodie for £10 at the time, and. You'll hear me saying in the interview, if the trajectory, I can't think of the word, the fact that you're getting more and more popular, one day will come when you'll not be able to do that. You'll not be able to go out into an auditorium and stand in a queue without getting hassled. And again, he looked at me as if I was daft and said, "Well, why not? You know, if people want to say hello and have a beer with me,
why not?
If somebody wants an autograph, fine." And I say, "Well, what if 700 people want an autograph? Fine, I'll sign them all." And I thought that's a lad that's got his feet in the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. He's a rock fan, isn't he? He's a bit like us. He's a rock fan.
Yeah. So let's hear the first of the interviews anyway. This is from 2010. The guys had played in Edinburgh the night before. They came into the studio live on the following morning, afternoon, a little bit hungover, but they were in fine form. This is Ryan and Joel from Airbourne from 2010 here on Access All Areas, the Tom Russell tapes.
96.3 Rock Radio, it's Tom Russell and the Tom Russell Show. It's a bit hectic, I'll tell you, it really is. A wee bit hectic in here this afternoon because we've just been joined by two boys, and I strongly suspect like they've each got a hangover. I really do. I have met them a couple of times in the past, and usually they're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, but this afternoon the twinkle is missing from the eye.
The twinkle. There may be it.
Joel and Ryan from Airbourne. Welcome, guys. You were partying in Edinburgh last night, I hear?
Yeah, we had a little bit. Yeah.
You had a few.
Yes, we had a few single malts, which is always a bit of fun.
Why don't you reel off some names there, Ryan?
Oh, Jura, Delmore, Glenkinchie, Glengoyne, you know them all.
Glenfiddich is my favourite.
Yeah, Glenfiddich's a good one.
That's lovely. Anyway, Edinburgh last night. Was that the first time you've played in Edinburgh, or did you play Edinburgh last tour?
I don't think we played it last time.
I don't remember seeing that big castle on the hill. That was really awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think this is the first time you've played Edinburgh. And as far as the gig was concerned, how was it?
It's fantastic.
It's good.
It was a lot of fun.
Right. Meet some new friends?
Yeah. No, we it was quite wild last night, so it was really good for a Monday night too. So it was people still were drinking after the the long weekend, so that's always fun.
Yeah, went around, checked out a bit of the town and stuff. It was really good. A lot of history there. I mean, never's really seen a castle up close like that before. And they built it on a big hill, so you can't take it. You'd have to siege it for years and years if you're going to try and take it or something. So, we're just walking around the town, and you go, oh well, big castle.
Did you get into the castle?
We couldn't get in.
Oh,
yeah.
It's normally open to the public. Oh, but you've got long hair, so they wouldn't let you in.
Yeah.
We kind of went to the pub, actually.
There's some great pubs, actually, on the hill on the way up to the castle. There's some good old-fashioned pubs. In the castle, there's a big old gun. It's called Mons Meg. And it's from, I think, is it the 1400s or something like that? Huge big thing. The barrel's about that thick.
Yeah, right.
Massive big thing. And they captured it 500 years ago and brought it back. It's been in the castle ever since.
Oh, right.
It's amazing.
Wow.
But it's a good castle. It's good. Next time you're in Edinburgh, bypass the pubs and go to Edinburgh Castle.
Check out the big gun.
Yeah, check it out. Going to play a track off the new album, which I was telling you just before you started there. I'm most impressed with No Guts, No Glory.
Thanks,
just out. Second official Airbourne album. Pleased with it yourself?
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
A progression from album one?
Yeah.
A bit of a progression,
Definitely the exact right road we want to take after Running Wild, and it's done everything. It's got everything we want it to have in it, and it's everything we sort of planned to make before we even made it. So very, very happy.
Yeah.
And you went, I think, Joel, you were telling me on the phone a couple of weeks ago, we did a little phone interview, and you were telling me that you went back to the original hotel where you guys used to practice it, and you did some work there.
Yeah, the Criterion Hotel is where we played our first show at when we were in Warrnambool, which is our hometown. And then, but it's now closed down, so we're able to go back, grab the keys and have it all to ourselves, and I guess reminisce in the past and just sort of close our eyes when we sort of listen to a song and like pretend if we were in there having a beer, would it be just the same as it was? And so, it was all good.
Going to play a track off the album then. Now, this is a track. You wrote a song on the last album. You were on about a well, so you've got another one about a well. This time it's bottom of the well that you're writing about. So tell us a little bit about the song before we play it.
Oh, it's about basically it's about sort of. If you ever find yourself, with that expression, you kick a dog when it's down. Mm-hmm. If you're that dog and you're being kicked when you're down, it's about getting back up from there.
Okay, let's hear it. Bottom of the Well, Airbourne on Rock Radio. 96.3 Rock Radio. It's the Tom Russell Show this afternoon. This Tuesday afternoon, Joel and Ryan from Airbourne are our guests in the studio, live in the studio. And that was a track from the new Airbourne album, which is called No Guts, No Glory. And that was the tale of the bottom of the well. Good try. The guys are, of course, at the O2 Academy tonight, and I'm certainly looking forward to it. But the show dates were changed. You were originally going to be playing in Glasgow and Edinburgh back in January, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then things changed around, and you were out with Motley Crue in Canada. How was that?
Well, basically we it was the Motley Crue tour was fantastic. It was a lot of fun in Canada. But yeah, I mean the release got pushed back, so we figured it wouldn't be the best to be out on the road with no album. So
we thought, it'd be more fun if everybody had the album. So we just went to Canada for a bit.
And the sun was shining.
Yeah.
Oh, the sun. No, in Canada. No, in Winnipeg it was minus 40.
Oh,
So
jeez.
it was cold. I don't know how opposite you can get, but no, it was pretty. Never experienced that before, mate. It's like when you walk into a cooler like a beer fridge, and you go, it's a bit cold in here. It's like times that and by 1,000,000 or something, like minus 40. Like there's 0, and then below 0 there's another whole 40 down.
Plunge.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty cold.
We complain here if it's -5 here in the UK. As far as live work is concerned, of course, we've seen you a few times over the past couple of years, but now there's a new album and there's all these new songs. How difficult has it been to decide which of the new songs to include in the set for this tour?
Well, it's a bit difficult. I mean, just like the first record, everyone sort of has their own favourites. And they usually change up from the other people. Like some people might like,
Steel Town,
but other people like Bottom of the Well, and some people like Raise the Flag, and this Overdrive, and everyone's sort of got their favourites. So we're just trying to please everyone. We ask all our crew, we ask management, label, everyone, just try and gather. What people want, because we just love them all. We play the whole lot if we want.
The set does change every night, pretty much, a little bit. And like when we come back to tour here again later on in the year, it will have changed again.
It would have
quite
changed
dramatically,
again,
I reckon.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a constant. It's a bit like Bob Dylan, he just rocks up in the night and just starts playing a song, and his band follows it. That's kind of what we're like. We just sit there, we look at the set list, and we go, "What do you want to play tonight?" And we just sort of someone goes, "Oh, let's do this, let's do that," and you sort of go off with it.
Yeah.
I remember watching you doing that at the Barrowland backstage. We did an interview last year, and you were sitting there doing that actually at the Barrowland half an hour before you went on stage. You were trying to decide which ones. In fact, that reminds me of a question that. Not so much a question, more a statement. The first time you played here was King Tut's, and you managed to disgrace yourself by setting the fire alarm off and having all the police, the fire engines outside. The second time you played here in Glasgow, you played the Barrowland, and Joel, you managed to disgrace yourself by going behind the bar during a guitar solo and serving pints, which was quite impressive.
Me and Bible John, having a few beers back there.
Well remembered. This time round, you're playing the O2 Academy, and that's going to be a difficult one to think up some way you can disgrace yourself tonight.
Well, if there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, there's a will, there's a way. I'm sure something will happen. It always does.
It's an old theatre. Have you been for the sound check yet?
No.
No, we haven't done sound check yet.
Had a shower.
Yeah.
It's an old theatre sort of idea.
Like the old ones. What was it originally called before O2 Academy?
The Carley Academy. But before it was called the Carley Academy, was it the Coliseum? Oh, Martin, you should remember these things.
Why? Because I was a bingo fan.
Yes, it was a bingo hall.
It's bingo hall.
There's a song on the album, incidentally, Chewing the Fat. Now, there's a television programme here in Scotland that ran for many, many years. Very, very popular television comedy. And it was called Chewing the Fat. Now, you're going to tell me you stole the title from the Scottish television programme?
No, it's it's a saying. It's just a saying, chewing the fat.
Yeah. But I guess in our sense, we've used it in the same vein as we used Diamond in the Rough.
Yeah.
Or AC/DC used Giving the Dog a Bone.
Yeah. It's
well, you can play that one if you want. For all the comedy fans of Chewing the Fat out there.
I will do in a minute. Firstly, I've got to ask you about Joel. When you played Sonosphere last year, I remember bumping into you after you'd played.
Yep.
Maybe an hour after you'd played.
I remember. It was the last interview of the day.
It probably was, yeah.
It was.
And after we'd done the interview, you were heading out, and it stuck in my mind amazing. You actually scrounged a tenner off me because you were going out into the auditorium because you wanted to buy a Metallica hoodie because you were freezing cold and you didn't have enough clothes with you.
Yeah, we didn't bring any with us.
No, not enough.
Yeah.
And it stuck in my head. You just played there in front of thousands of people, but you were still one of the guys. You were going out there to buy a Metallica T-shirt or hoodie, which I think
I think it was a hoodie. Yeah,
it was a hoodie you wanted.
There was $10 hoodies or something.
Yeah,
someone had gotten onto. I think it was Street. He said, "Yeah, you can get a hoodie for $10," and I went, "Oh, good. Got to go get one because it's bloody cold."
But the amazing thing is, the way the band is going with the second album, tour, download again this year, the band's going like this. You will reach a stage in life, no doubt, when you won't be able to do that any longer. Go out into an auditorium with the punters and say hi to some guys and chat with them. But you won't be able to stand in the queue and buy a sweatshirt. Do you think when you reach that stage, will there be some sort of sadness that you can't do that any longer?
I think you just do it anyway.
Yeah, I think you just do it anyway.
Just go out there and say what's going on.
What's going on, mate? Yeah. It's a bit cold. I'll be back in a second. Just got to grab a hoodie.
What if you get 700 people all wanting your autograph?
Oh, well, you sort of like get the hoodie and just be signing away, and then you sort of get, you put your hoodie on, get warm and get signing, do some photos.
I think it'd be very sad if you couldn't have a beer with a local,
Yeah.
I think you just do it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what you're saying about Dave Grohl? He's a good bloke. He has a chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just likes having a chat.
Yeah.
Just like going to say good day, have a beer.
Have a beer. Yeah.
Correct answer. Well done, guys. Listen, we've got one more song to play, and then we'll need to. I know you've got to go and do your sound check. And this song we're going to play from the album. Hopefully, you'll be playing this live tonight. And this one, I think, is in page 2 of the booklet of the album. There's a lovely picture of this blonde who's obviously bad and very beautiful as well. Mm-hmm. She's downed about 4 or 5 bottles of Jack. And, is that a particular lady that you have come across in the past year or so?
I would say she represents, I guess, a collage of what we've come across during every show. There's always those fancy pants at the front row. And
fancy pants, that's a nice way of putting it.
Oh, yeah, fancy pants.
We'll play out with the song anyway. It's called Blonde, Bad and Beautiful. Are you doing it tonight, incidentally? Or?
Yes.
Good. Just for me.
Yeah.
Just for me.
Just for you and all your big blonde locks.
Joel and Ryan from Airbourne, thank you as always for coming in and chatting with us today on 96.3's Black Radio.
So that was Airbourne from back in 2010. Tom, where you said it was in Edinburgh, wasn't it? Whereabouts? In the studio?
Edinburgh the night before.
Right, okay.
Guys came into the studio in Glasgow.
Oh, did they? Right, okay.
A live radio show.
Right.
Doing the afternoon show at the time.
Right.
And they came in live. As we said right at the start there, they were looking a wee bit...
worse for wear.
A wee bit worse for wear.
Yeah, you could tell.
It warmed up, as you can hear.
You were quite warm yourself. I thought you were really relaxed with them. Really relaxed.
They're likeable guys. They're just down-to-earth guys. And 2, this was probably the first interview I had done with them.
Yeah.
The interview that we're going to play in a few minutes' time, which is the one from Tea in the Park, they're even more relaxed.
Yeah.
It's just Joel.
I don't know how could you get more relaxed? They were pretty relaxed.
They were pretty cool. Yeah.
Good lads. They sounded like good lads.
That was the impression I got from the whole thing, Tom, was that I mean, you've said before they're nice, down-to-earth lads, and they definitely were. I mean, there was no sort of moments where I thought, they're going to get a bit arsey about their music, or they're going to say this is the greatest album I've ever made, or any of the other sort of things we often get from bands. None of that. I mean, they're just... it was really good.
I thought and the guy, Joel, I think it was, he's got a good memory, I think, because he mentioned something to you about Bible John, and you said, good memory, because you must have told him at the Barrowlands about Bible John.
He takes Lion's Mane.
Does it?
Hey, this is not a sponsored post.
No, it's not.
Sponsored podcast.
Yes, when they played the Barrowland for the first time, I think that was their second tour. They played in Glasgow. We did the interview at the Barrowland in the dressing room there, and I was telling them the story about Bible John, which at that stage obviously they never heard of Bible John. But for those of you who haven't heard of him, he was a serial killer back in the 1960s in Glasgow, and he was never caught. He murdered some young women over a period of months, but he was never actually caught. And I told Joel the story about it, and I think he gave it a mention live on stage later, and he got a big cheer. But so it was nice that he remembered about Bible John.
Yeah. And do you think he was asking about the name of the original name of the O2 Academy? You know, because he said what it was called. Do you think he was saying that because he was going to maybe mention the name on the night? You know, like anyone here from the
remember the
bingo days? Legs 11, that's us. Hey, whatever, you know.
I can remember him saying that, but
yeah,
why he wanted to know that, I don't know.
He might have been, you know. And I heard a little Martin Keelty in the background there.
Yes, he was doing some work with the station at the time, and he was sitting in the studio listening to the interviews, but he couldn't remember either. Maybe it was just called the Academy.
Could have been.
Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe
because there was two theatres quite close to each other. There was the Academy and the Coliseum, which was also a bingo hall. That's demolished now. It's not knocked down. I liked it when I said, "What did you think of Edinburgh?" And they said, "Oh, great! This is a great big castle up on the hill. Looks as though it's been there for years."
Yeah. I wonder if they'd ever even heard of Edinburgh before they came to it.
Well, they did say Edinburgh the correct way.
They did. But then again, the Australians don't really say Edinburgh, do they, or any of these other weird Americanisms?
But asking Australian to say Helensburgh, they'll say Helensburgh.
All right, will they? All right, okay.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Maybe they were aware of Edinburgh through their liking for single malts for Scotch whisky.
Maybe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because they obviously knew their stuff about the whisky. They named off half a dozen that they were fond of.
I didn't hear them saying where they went. Did they tell you where they went pub-wise off air? Because I don't think I remember hearing it on the recording. Did they actually say where they were drinking?
No.
No.
I would imagine when bands come up, you know, especially when you're out on tour nowadays, when you come off stage at 10:30, dressing room, shower, maybe a couple of interviews, back to the hotel.
Yeah.
It's 11:30.
That could have been the hotel.
Yeah, I think it's probably more likely than not. It was just in the lounge bar of the hotel.
Yeah. But that was funny, that bit. I liked it. And knowing your love for single malts, I was thinking, Tom would have enjoyed that night out.
Yeah.
So then they talked about the gig, and the bit that you raised, Tom, that I thought was, I didn't know this, I'd never heard this. You asked them about the Barrowland gig that they'd played before, and you said, you ended up behind the bar serving pints.
Every time I've seen Airbourne, and I've probably seen them live 6-7 times, Joel comes up with something. And that particular time at the Barrowland, the first show at the Barrowland, halfway through the show, he goes into a guitar solo. And you guys being AC/DC fans, again, you'll recognise this story. One of the big members of their crew, big hefty guy, goes up to the front of the stage at the Barrowland. Joel's still playing the guitar solo, and he gets on the shoulders of the security guy, just the same as Angus used to do with Bon.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
And then the security guy, with Joel on his shoulders, starts working his way through the crowd at the Barrowland. And rock fans, they don't mob them; they move back, give them a bit of space, and it was wonderful. He's still playing the solo, and this goes on for a couple of minutes. And then the security guy heads over towards the bar, at the Barrowland. You remember it's right along one side?
Yeah.
We get to the bar. Joel, still playing the guitar solo, gets off the security guy's shoulders, climbs onto the bar, still playing the solo, gets behind the bar, playing the solo with his left fingers. He takes his right hand, and the bar staff, I don't know if the bar staff had been prepped. I doubt it, but they stood back politely. He gets an empty pint, and he holds it under the tap, and he pours a pint. Still playing the solo with his left hand, hands the pint to one of the punters, and then gets back on the shoulders and back onto the stage. Just
fantastic.
And non-rock fans would probably say, "What's that got to do with it? What's that?" It's entertainment.
Yeah,
it's pantomime. It's rock.
Yeah,
you wouldn't have got a pop star doing that. I would not.
No.
The other thing that he does regularly when he's on stage, I've seen him doing it a few times, is he'll be doing a guitar solo, and he'll get a can of beer unopened, and he'll start hitting it on his head, and he keeps banging it on his head until it bursts a little hole, and it sprays out the beer. And he sprays the beer over all the front rows. Again, why? Why? It's fun.
Yeah.
And it's great to watch.
Yes.
Yeah. They're entertainers, obviously.
They're entertainers. Yeah. Funny enough, they reminded me a bit, attitude-wise, of The Darkness. I just thought the same sort of fun vibe. You know how The Darkness are absolutely hilarious, you know, and I got the same sort of vibe. Obviously, The Darkness are more up to date, but it was I just thought of them. Just it came into my head when I was listening to it. That's exactly the sort of nonsense that they would do in The Darkness. Yeah, great entertainers, without a doubt. Then you asked them then about now I'm trying to separate these two interviews now, Tom. But I think you then asked them about, what was it like playing at Tea in the Park or Donington, and you were talking about crowds being exaggerated. I thought that was really funny, and it's like if everybody that went to Woodstock was actually at Woodstock, there would have been 3 million of them there. It's that sort of rock and roll mythology, sort of Spinal Tap stuff.
Yeah, I think that was the second interview we're going to listen to in the next few minutes. Yeah. I think he talks about download was 100,000, Tea in the Park was 85,000. There wasn't 85,000 watching Airbourne though, because as you can imagine, Tea in the Park audience, it would be who's on? I'm going for a pint. The rock fans were never particularly,
and the guy from the stage is pouring it for you.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Maybe we should have a listen now to the second.
Yeah. Good idea.
This one I mentioned earlier, I had a double rummage. I found
I love that. A double rummage.
What does that? When I say a double rummage, what does that conjure up in your mind?
Well, I have this sort of cartoon character in my head because we've not used them, but Andy did some cartoon AI pictures of Tom rummaging a while back. So I've got this cartoon in my head with you going, aha, going back up into the loft, chucking bits of clothes and toys all over the place, and suddenly there's a light. You go up to it and it's an Airbourne tape. There you go. Oh! Yeah, exactly.
The first interview that we listened to a few minutes ago there, I found a wee while back, and it's been waiting to go down as a podcast. But that the second one that we're just about to listen to, I just found just the other day, and it's fairly short. It was recorded at Tea in the Park when Airbourne played there. Fairly short, and I thought to myself, now we'll leave that for another. And then I thought, no, the live in the studio one that we listened to earlier there, it's only 10 minutes or so. This one's only about 5 or 6 minutes. So let's put them both on the same podcast.
Good idea.
So this one, as I said, was recorded at Tea in the Park, which wasn't a festival, a rock festival like Download or Back In or any other big rock festivals. This was a sort of a pop and indie festival, and they would have the odd token rock band on, and Airbourne were booked. So I blagged a ticket from the record company and went up to see them. And after before they played, we recorded this interview with Airbourne at Tea in the Park. We're in a tent here at Tea in the Park, and we're joined by a couple of guys. It just seems like a week ago I was talking to you guys at Download, and here you are at Tea in the Park.
Here we are. Where we're having tea in the park.
Yeah. This isn't a festival you've done before, is it?
No, never done this one before, no. But looking forward to it. Yeah.
It's the same promoters that have worked with you here in Scotland all the way through, from the King Tut's gig right up through the Barrowland gig.
Right, okay.
These guys put on Tea in the Park every year. Is it a festival that you've even heard of?
Yeah, we've heard of it a few times. One of our crew guys, Vinny, is from Scotland, and yeah, we've heard about it, and we're just, great to be here, and we're just looking forward to getting up there.
It looks like a city out there, you know. It looks so big.
It's not actually as big as Download. There's, I think, 85,000 people here. At Download, you played to, was it 110,000?
Oh, yeah, at least 210,000. Oh, yeah, it's fucking...
By next year, we'll be exaggerating it up to 250,000. Yeah, incidentally, your memories of the Download Festival?
Yeah, I mean, it was very exciting. It was raining and windy, and I guess it was just yeah, just another rock and roll show with a bit of wild stuff.
Bit of wild stuff. Bit of you know, sort of got climbed on the roof of the stage, and the health and safety, they turned the PA off. And there's a big blue backstage. Our manager managed to get the PA back on. The crowd started to riot, throwing bottles and all this stuff onto the stage, and it was all great, you know, like rock and roll.
It's a question I've asked you before, but I'm going to ask you it again. These stunts that you pull, you know, jumping up on the PA, jumping up on the roof of the festival, Barrowland, going behind the bar and pulling some pints for some of the thirsty customers.
Yep.
Do you have these stunts in your mind before the gig starts, or does it just come in instantaneously?
Nah, just when you're doing the gig. When you're doing the gig, unless somebody says, "Don't climb today, or we're going to sue you £15,000," and don't do it today. If somebody says something like that, then you don't do it.
So we're going to have fun today, though.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun today. Yeah, you know, there's always something else you can do, you know. I mean, when we get on stage, you know, we don't just think we're going to go climb or something like that. You know, there's always other things you can do. We always try and throw as many beers out in the crowd as we can between the songs. So I always like to give people a beer. Yeah.
One of the highlights of my Download festival wasn't actually at Download. It was the night after Download at the Metal Hammer Awards, where you and the guy from Five Finger Death Punch, whose name I can't remember, the singer with Five Finger Death Punch, you were trading beers together. He'd obviously watched your show, so you opened the beer on your head.
Yep.
So the two of you were standing there for 5 minutes, and I don't know how many beers you went through.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you know, it's always a bit of fun, you know, have a bit of beers. Yeah.
Did you meet Christopher Lee at the Metal Gods thing?
Yeah, we pretty much met. Pretty much everyone was there, and no, it was a good night. It was a lot of drinking, a lot of fun.
Going by your expression, you don't know who Christopher Lee is?
Maybe not.
Big tall dude, 85 years of age, long hair, spoke. He's an actor. He's in the Lord of the Rings, and he played Dracula. He played Frankenstein back in the 60s.
What was he, Gandalf? There was a Gandalf guy walking around. Oh, we like that guy looks like Gandalf. So that was Gandalf.
Yeah, that was Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee, bloody hell! Well, we didn't know. Because it was pretty busy that day. We were running around, you know, the media and setting up the gear and all that sort of stuff. But I remember seeing, and I was sort of like, it did occur to me at the time.
Apart from seeing Airbourne again, that was the highlight of my night, meeting Christopher Lee, because back in the 60s, he was God, because he played Dracula in all the Dracula films. And then in the 70s, he played Frankenstein. And then, of course, he was in the Lord of the Rings and so many other films. He was also in, I think, was it Star Wars? He was in one of the Star Wars?
Oh, was he? Yeah, okay, yeah.
And he was getting an award for services to rock music.
There you go.
What he's done for rock music, I'm not very sure. But
Well, there you go.
he was well respected.
Yeah.
Now, today's set here at Tea in the Park, guys, as I mentioned to you outside, the Tea in the Park audience isn't necessarily, it's certainly not a metal audience. It's verging on perhaps not a rock audience. Majority of the bands that play Tea in the Park are your Eminems and your Jay-Z's and all these sort of characters. So again, does that adjust how you approach your performance?
No. Look, wherever we go, we just do what we do. We get up there, we throw all the marshals up there, we crank it up as loud as we can get it, we give it everything we got, and we have a good time, we bring a good time. That's what we're here to do, is we entertain as much as we possibly can. That's what we do.
And hopefully make some new friends.
Make some new friends, of course, yes, definitely.
Now, the song that we've been playing for the past month or so on the station is Blonde, Bad and Beautiful. You must tell me, what was her name? What does she look like?
Well, I guess she's got blue eyes and she's blonde and she's quite. She's got everything.
She is your fantasy.
So it's all in the head?
No, she's real. But if we tell her who she is, the guy listened to it that's seen them, it could be about, he could think it's about his girl. You don't want to ruin the magic. Don't want to ruin the fun.
And you might just get a kicking next time you go back to that town.
Why?
Your head kicked in. Next time you go back to that town.
Oh, nah.
You never know.
Might do me some good.
Guys, great talking to you as always, and have a good one today here at Tea in the
No
Park.
worries. Cheers.
That was Airbourne recorded. Was it before you said they did their set? You did say before, Tom, didn't you? Before
It was before their set, yes.
Yeah. There's a video on YouTube, and there's no music in it, but it's a video of them getting ready to go onto the stage at Tea in the Park. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a well shot video, so I think it's professionally shot. And they're all, shirtless, swigging from a bottle of JD. I think it is, and they're having a good laugh even before they went on to stage. They look to be a bit nervous, but can you remember the gig? What were they like, and how did they go down?
Oh, they were excellent. There was only a few hundred people watching, but they were excellent. They gave it 100% as usual.
Right.
But the amusing thing was, after I had recorded that interview, maybe 2 hours before they played, and I said thank you very much, and I went away and I don't know what, went away and had a beer or did another interview or maybe watched somebody on the main stage. And half an hour later, I was walking along somewhere at Tea in the Park, and I hear this shout in an Australian accent. Hey, Tom! I can't do an Australian accent. Andy, help me with this. How do you say hey, Tom in Australia?
Why do you think I'd be able to do one? Hey, Tom!
It's pretty good.
I thought that was
Tom!
close.
Hey, Tom!
Yeah.
Something like that, I don't know.
Close. So I looked over, and here on the other
Mate!
side...
Tom, mate!
Over.
Come over here! Yeah, that's a bit cockney, but we're getting there.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
I'm overacting now, sorry. Yeah.
Well.
Carry on.
Come over here bit was spot on.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
You're not going to do it
And
again.
cut.
No.
It's got in
goes
my
up
head.
there's a fence, and on the other side of the fence, and a gate, is the bold Joel out with the auditorium.
Oh.
So I goes over and he says, "Hey man, can you help me here? They're not letting me back in." I says, "How?" And of course the security guy standing there. They pass, no ticket, they pass. You can't get in. And Joel says, "Could you tell him I'm due to play? I'm on stage in just over 10 minutes." So I says to the bloke, the security guy, who was all right, but more than my job's worth to. It was a job's worth.
Yeah.
More than my job's worth to let you in. And Joel says, "Come on, man! I'm on stage. I'm in the band that's on next." So I had a wee quiet word with the security guy. He was okay, and he finally listened to reason. Joel came in. "Thanks, Tom," and he started running, and he actually ran from that gate, maybe half a mile, round a big corner, down a hill, up a hill, and got to the stage just a few minutes before they were due. So that was probably the bit that they filmed was why they were so effervescent.
Yeah, right. That's brilliant. Oh, that's a good. How on earth did he get outside the perimeter? What was he doing?
I can't remember.
Trying to get a tenner off someone for a t-shirt.
To buy a t-shirt.
I think memory serves me rightly. He'd actually got lost. He'd taken the wrong turn, or I don't know. Again, we got on talking about all these antics, about climbing up in the PA and doing all these different antics and every gig. And he says, "Yeah, well, we do it most shows, but sometimes health and safety are a bit uppity. For example, at Download, the health and safety people halfway through the set, I started climbing, so they turned the PA off, and it was going to be a riot. So they said to me, "We'll turn it on if you promise not to climb up on the PA." So PA was turned back on, and order was restored.
Yeah. I remember that he said that he was on top of the stage at Download. That's a big stage.
They were at that particular in 2000 and whatever it was, 10, 11. They were playing in second stage.
Still quite big, but yeah, okay, right, not quite as dangerous, right?
It was just the PA that they climbed up on, but he was very, very fit.
Yeah. I remember seeing very unfashionable, but I remember seeing Gary Glitter at Download, and he climbed up the gantry with a rose in his mouth, waving at the crowd. And it was like, it's a shame he didn't fall, eh? Anyway, I shouldn't have said that, maybe. But and I remember Pearl Jam. I remember seeing Eddie Vedder doing that, climbing up and doing the monkey bars across the top of the stage at I think it was the Edinburgh Playhouse. Can't remember. It was one of the.
It does it all the time. We used to do it. Like he did it. There's one I've seen of doing it at Reading. So he's like hanging from the very high stage.
Yeah.
I've got to mention something in that the first interview we had listened to earlier on there, we're talking about some of the tracks from the new album, and we talked about the song Blonde, Bad and Beautiful.
Yes.
And I sort of mischievously asked if it was about a particular young lady, and the answer was something along the lines of, there's always some fancy pants along
the front row. That made me laugh because the way they said fancy pants was just so Australian. Fancy pants. Fancy pants. Just laugh. What was that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fancy pants.
I went and watched the video for it, and it takes, I don't know if you've seen it, takes place in an aircraft, and the aircraft's called T&A Airlines. And you go, they go into this, and all the seats, it's just beautiful girls with hardly any clothes on, and these 4 or 5 mangy, long-haired rockers. It's absolutely fantastic. Not very appropriate for these days, but very funny.
No, I've only listened to that album like 3 times.
Yeah.
And when you say Blonde, Bad and Beautiful, I'm like, blonde, bad, beautiful. Blonde, bad and beautiful.
Yeah. Right.
What's the other one they've got? They've got another one that I was thinking, oh man, No Way But the Hard Way.
Yeah.
It's in my head now. No way.
And Running Wild's a cracker.
That's a good tune. Yeah,
always finish at that time they used to always finish with Running Wild was the sort of encore live track.
No Guts, No Glory as well. Good album, good song too.
Good tune.
Yeah, they've got the method now. They've got the little. Yeah, they've got it. They know what they're doing.
Which reminds me, if somebody wants to subscribe, what do they do?
Hit the subscribe button.
Oh, straight to the point as always.
There you go.
It depends on the platform, and if you're using Apple Music to listen to this, just hit the little subscribe button. And even better than that, give us 5 stars, because it really helps us get boosted in the how far up we get in the lists. On YouTube, it's a lot easier. And again, leave us a comment, and we promise to come back to you if you leave a comment.
Or if you're in any other podcast app.
Yes.
Just because I don't use Apple's.
Yeah.
The Apples. I don't use the Apples. The Apple's iTunes. The Apple's the iTunes. I don't use the iTunes.
Right. Which one do you use, Andy, incidentally?
I use one called
Podbean.
Pod. I've totally forgotten, but I've been using it for ages. But anyway, it's all the same.
Yeah, but we're on Podbean, we're on Spotify, we're on Amazon, and we're on Apple. So we're on the main.
I actually just subscribed using the RSS.
Ah, right, okay. All right.
Which is,
it's getting very technical now, Tom.
In that second interview, we talk about Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten about this. It was back in early 2011, 12, 13, somewhere like that.
Yeah.
I was down in London at the Metal Hammer Golden Gods Awards. And Airbourne were getting an award, and they were going to be playing live. And I asked them if they had come across Christopher Lee. And of course, there was a blank expression that they hadn't a clue who I was talking about. He was actually getting an award for services to rock music. And I'd forgotten about this, but he actually recorded a rock album.
He did, yeah.
So he was getting an award for it, and he was wandering about, and I had the pleasure of meeting him. It was just a shake of the hand and nice to meet you. I've enjoyed your work type of thing. But
that's what he said to you. What did you say to him?
To Christopher?
Yes.
I says, hey, big man, nice to meet you. Love your beard.
Yeah, fantastic.
Did he have the beard on? Was he wearing the beard at the? No, he couldn't have been.
I can't even remember what trousers he had on.
Or if indeed he had, he was just wearing the
robe.
He was dressed as Saruman, wasn't he?
That's right, Saruman. Yeah.
Was that right in saying that he played Frankenstein? He played
yes.
Dracula, all the rest of it.
Yeah, I don't remember him being Frankenstein, but I remember him being Dracula, and House of Blood is a great film, and he did some amazing films.
He was in a James Bond as well.
He was
Francisco Scaramanga.
Yeah. He's also a war hero and all sorts. I mean, the guy was quite a character. Great actor.
So they were the Airbourne boys were quite disappointed, quite upset that they hadn't recognised them properly and spoken to them. They just said, as in the interview there, we saw this guy walking about, and we thought he looks like Gandalf.
Gandalf, yeah.
Never thought anything about it, but if they'd realised it, Lee, I think
he wasn't Gandalf.
No, he wasn't.
Similar. Well, he was Sauron, but a similar looking guy. Wizard, beard, cloak, all that gear.
Technical point, he was Saruman, he wasn't Sauron.
Saruman, sorry.
Sorry, I'm a Lord of the Rings geek as well.
Sauron is the
big bad guy.
The big bad guy.
Great band. They've not had an album out for a little while. Hopefully there'll be something later this year.
Yeah.
And perhaps even get another interview with them, because
they're
good fun guys. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed this podcast. We've got lots more already recorded and lots more still to do. I've been rummaging in my loft, in my attic, on a regular basis. So if you'd like to subscribe, it costs you nothing. Just press the button that says subscribe and we'll tell you when the next one's coming up. Thanks for watching and listening.